वेलकम आप सबको शुभ शिवरात्रि we are visiting Vedic mathematics, science and technology scriptures. The first scripture being visited is Surya Upanishad. Surya Upanishad is the Upanishad of Atharvaveda. This Upanishad is of Atharva, Angirya's stream. Surya Upanishad is composed in a prose form. There are 8 paragraphs. These 8 paragraphs are composed as 74 sentences. Value 74 is parallel with TCV of Ganita Sutra 1, Ekadikein Purvein. Today, we are visiting paragraphs 7 and 8. This way, we are reaching at the completion of our first visit to this knowledge domain. Paragraph 7 is a composition of 5 sentences. These 5 sentences are preserving the source mantra Om Ghrini Surya Aditya as 8 aksharas, syllables, mantra of Surya. Surya Ank is 6. This mantra is a composition of 8 aksharas. Values pair 6 and 8 are of the format of 6 as dimension and 8 as domain. Surya, sun, as a dimension, and Ashta, eightfold nature, is the creation of this dimensional order. Surya Upanishad is a scripture of 8 paragraphs. This organization as such is parallel with different features of creations by 3 gunas of Ashtaprakriti. How the existence phenomenon of our solar universe is conducting itself, how one shall proceed to be parallel with the features of this phenomenon. Para 8 preserves the enlightenment as that sadhakas fulfilled with intensity of urge to be parallel with Vedic systems shall recite with faith this 8 syllables mantra of Surya, Om Ghrini Surya Aditya. This mantra is advised to be recited with faith at the time of sunrise as well as at the time of sunset. and during midday as well. Paragraph 8 as a composition of 15 sentences, including the end iti command as well. It is preserved specifically as that one who recites with faith this mantra at the time of sunrise by facing the sun, one is destined to be privileged, fulfilled with all transcendental features, properties, potentialities of Surya itself. It is the enlightenment path. Sadhakas fulfilled with intensity of urge to be parallel with Vedic systems shall recite with faith this 8 syllables mantra Om Ghrini Surya Aditya. One shall recite this mantra at the time of sunrise by facing the sun. This mantra's recitation may be at sunrise time, at sunset time, and also during the mid time. The command is that this mantra be recited with faith, facing the sun itself. The intellectual queries about the inner organization features of this mantra take us to the compositions of Om, Ghrini, Surya and Aditya as formulations. These formulations will bring us face to face with the 10 internal folds of each of these quadruple formulations. Om, Ghrini, Surya and Aditya are quadruple formulations. Each formulation has 10 folds. This way, this mantra, Om, Ghrini, Surya, Aditya, is having as many as 10 multiplied by 4 is equal to 40 internal folds. Value 40 is parallel with the 40 coordinates fixation of the creative boundary of 10 components of the transcendental domain. As such, we can have intellectual parallel for the potentialities of this mantra as that these quadruple formulations in terms of their 40 folds go parallel with the need of 40 coordinates for fixation of the creative boundary of the transcendental domain. Further, the recitation with faith of this mantra as such would mean that these static values are being put in a dynamic state within human frame, that is by a Purusha. Purusha formulation is of TC value 24. This value 24 is parallel with the dimensional frame of 6 space, that is the Surya itself. Therefore, the recitation with faith of this quadruple formulations mantra will amount to that human body as a Purusha, as six-piece body, being sustained by its dimensional frame of value 24. Therefore, five-space domain, which is enveloped within creative boundary of 10 components, during this recitation will make organization for 10 creative components as 4 and 6. This organization of creative boundary of 10 components as 4 components and 6 components will go parallel with the 6 space having dimensional frame of 6 dimensions. Each dimension is a 4 space setup. 4 space plays the role of dimension of 6 space. There are as many as 6 dimensions, 6 creative dimensions of a 6. Therefore, when one recites with faith this mantra as a composition of these quadruple formulations, which are having 40 inner folds parallel with the 40 coordinates fixation of the transcendental, of the creative boundary of the transcendental domain, and the movement, this static state of the creative boundary of the transcendental domain is put in a dynamic state by having a faithful recitation. The same, as a result thereof, will amount to the creative boundary components getting stripped off, and as a result thereof, there will happen cosmic windows. The takeoff of the creative boundary from the transcendental domain result into outer space getting dimensionalized with the creative dimensional order, which would mean that the outer space gets the structures of its 6 space. The structures of 6 space with a dimensional frame of 6 creative dimensions goes parallel with the human body setup itself. With this parallel for the human body, with the setup of the sun itself, is the format, is the phenomenon which is at the base of the potentialities attainable in terms of faithful recitation of this mantra. Therefore, sadhakas fulfilled with intensity of virtue, having curiosity, having queries as to how one can have intellectual satisfaction, as that such recitation is going to result into the potentialities as are preserved here in the Surya Upanishad, shall visit these quadruple formulations. Let us take the formulation Om. On the computer screen on the right side is the tabulation of 10 inner folds for each of these quadruple formulations Om, Grini, Surya, and Aditya. Let us approach these formulations for their inner folds one by one. Let us begin with the formulation Om. Formulation Om as a formulation will contribute value 1 means W1. The first fold will be contributing value 1. The second fold is the number of syllables. Formulation O is having only one vowel, so it has only one syllable. The entire word composition is single syllable composition, and as such, second fold S as well will lead to value 1. The third fold is the number of letters. O is a composition of a pair of words O and M. Therefore, third fold L will contribute value 2. The fourth fold is the TC value, Dive Ank Vivasta. The pair of words O and Ma are of placements which brings in TC value 7 for O and TC value 9 for Ma, and both together make TC value 16 for the formulation. Let us have a pause here. The first four folds formulation Om are having their four folds of values 1, 1, 2, 16 of the total summation value is 20. The fifth to 10th folds are the TT, FF, F, H, R, SR. Let us sequentially compose these TCV values of 5th to 10th fold. These 6 folds of formulation Om as is tabulated in column 1 of the computer screen table. These come to be 144, 56, 31, 60, 100, and 216. These together, these 6 folds of formulation Om lead to summation value 607. Now let us visit 10 folds of formulation Grini. The first 4 folds contribute 1, 2, 4, 17, summation value 24. And the subsequent 6 folds of formulation Grini lead to value 0, 97, 54, 60, 125, 267, giving a summation value 600. Now let us visit the 10 internal folds of the formulation Surya. The first 4 folds of the formulation Surya contribute values 1, 2, 4, 13 as summation value 20. The subsequent 6 folds of the formulation Surya are 6, 93, 50, 42, 105, 220, summation value 590. Let us have a pause. Value 519 is parallel with the total letters of the entire text of 16 sutras, 13 upsutras. Therefore, one will have intellectual bliss with this reach, as that The internal organization of these formulations are mathematically tailored. These internal folds of this formulation are precisely of the reach as is going to manifest as 519 letters for the entire text of 13 of sutras. The fourth formulation, Aditya, sequentially leads 1, 3, 6, 16, summation value 26, folds, 4 folds, and value 618 for the folds. Let us have a pause. Let us revisit all these quadruple formulations for their all 10 folds for each formulation, and it would be blissful to note that first 4 folds each of these quadruple formulations as of values 20, 24, 20, 26 are of a summation value 90, and the remaining 6 folds of each of these quadruple formulations as of values 607, 603, 519, 618 becomes 2347. Let us have a pause. Anant, infinitely infinite formulation, is of TC value 23, and so this will lead us to value 2460. Let us visit the setup of value 2460. It is 246 multiplied by 10. Therefore, it as such takes us to the creative boundary of the transcendental domain of 10 components. Now, each component we know is creative component. It is a 4-space setup. 4-space we know is of a spatial order, and 4-space itself is a dimension of a 6. Therefore, it is a straightway format. It is blissful format. The further bliss is that the single spatial dimension, pair of spatial dimensions, and triple spatial dimensions make sequential values 2, 4, and 6. See, the formulation Rishi is a composition of triple letters of TC values 2, 4, and 6. Therefore, sadhakas fulfilled with intensity efforts to be parallel with the Vedic system shall recite with faith this Surya mantra of quadruple formulations Om, Grini, Surya, and Aditya. This faithful recitation of this Surya mantra as per its internal organization is going to fulfill human body with transcendental transformation. The purpose of the life, the aim of the life is to have a mental state for one's intelligence and consciousness. Once the intelligence and consciousness of the individual is of transcendental format, then rest will follow of its own as the transcendental state will get unified with the transcendental values, features of the existence phenomenon itself. Let us sit comfortably. Let us be parallel with organization format, then this pure knowledge state is to be put in its applied values domain. The same is that one shall recite this mantra with faith. Once we will be reciting this mantra with faith, then, as is the Upanishadic enlightenment, Surya Upanishad, we shall be having the transcendental grace. Further, the sadhakas shall revisit the formulation Surya, Shiv, Gita, and the Ganita Sutra. The formulation Surya, as we have seen, is having in its internal six folds of value 519 parallel with the total number of letters of the text of entire range of 16 Ganita Sutras, 13 Sutras. Likewise, formulation Shiv as well is having precisely summation value for its six internal folds as 519. It is this bliss which is real bliss of the Vedic system. Vedic systems are the systems parallel with the existence phenomenon. One who wants to live parallel with the existence phenomenon shall recite with faith Surya Mantra and be privileged for this transcendental grace. Thank you very much.